Marshall Brown was 1 week old when he attended his first meeting at Smith's Ballpark, and he has been a consistent presence here since that day. Marshall loved the Bees, watching the game, eating pizza, Dippin' Dots, and nachos. He especially loved fireworks nights and looked forward to the finale the most. In June of 21, 5-year-old Marshall attended a neighborhood basketball camp. When he returned home, he was excited to tell his family of all the buckets he made and how awesome the coaches thought he played, even though he was one of the smaller kids at camp. Marshall recounted making jump shots and driving to the basket for easy layup. He described making the last shot and winning a shooting contest. Marshall also mentioned his foot hurt a little bit. Marshall's mom, Ashley, noticed that the arch of his foot seemed swollen. After several days, the swelling did not subside. Ashley and Marshall then visited his pediatrician. The results of an x-ray were inconclusive. Ashley was still concerned. Next, Marshall saw an orthopedic doctor. The orthopedist wanted Marshall to have an MRI. The day of the MRI was hard, as Marshall had to be sedated and was unsure of what to make of everything. With the help of his mom, Marshall underwent an MRI. From the time he noticed the lump on his foot until the MRI, Marsh kept being Marsh. He played baseball for the Angels and soccer for the Yellow Ninjas. Marsh loved shooting hoops on his mini hoop in the backyard. He was full of energy, always moving, always dreaming of what he would do when he was big. On the evening of August 5th, at about 9:30 p.m., the orthopedist called Marshall's parents, Ashley and Brady, with the devastating news that the MRI had revealed what appeared to be a sarcoma in Marshall's left foot. After a biopsy was taken at Primary Children's Hospital, Marshall was diagnosed with cancer, a cancer of the soft tissue. Marshall's treatment began immediately. From the moment Marshall's treatment began, he loved his incredible medical team, and they loved him. Dr. Matthew Dietz, Stephanie Nearings, Dr. Lemons, Dr. Fair, Dr. Moore, Dr. Poppy, Polly Rubin, and the countless nurses at Primary Children's Hospital treated Marshall like he was one of their own. Marshall's dad, Brady Brown, said they explained every aspect of the treatment process. They detailed the complexities of the disease, helping us as parents know what might be coming and how we could best navigate the process. Maybe most importantly, they cried with us, doing everything in their power to comfort us. They did everything they could to treat Marshall and help us as a family in an impossible situation. Marshall underwent radiation treatment with the radiation oncology team at Huntsman Cancer Institute for 6 weeks. By the end, Marshall grew so attached to his radiation oncology team that he told his parents he was sad that his radiation treatment was ending and he would miss seeing his friends every day. Child life specialist Abby Owens and the radiation technicians organized 2 separate Nerf gun battles inside the clinic to celebrate Marshall's last day of 2 different radiation treatments. Through all of the medical treatments, port accesses, needle pokes, bad-tasting medicines, chemotherapy, radiation, blood transfusions, hospital stays, CT scans, MRI, clinic visits, Marshall remained Marshall. He went to his last Jazz game on January 1st, 2022, where he was able to watch his 2 favorite teams, the Utah Jazz and the Golden State Warriors. Marshall's favorite team was the Jazz, but his favorite player was Steph Curry. Marshall would tell his dad, "Steph is a lot like me. He is smaller, but he can shoot." Marshall loved shooting hoops and kept working on his shot for as long as his body would allow. He even made a legendary shot right over Grandma Sherry's head. Marshall witnessed numerous acts of pure love from friends and family as they rallied together to support him in his battle against cancer. His grandmothers, aunts, cousins, and friends created a Bees Jazz RSL-themed tree dedicated to him for the Festival of Trees. He called it the sickest tree ever. It sold for over $25,000. Friends, family, and members of his medical team all came to see it at a special gathering. The Weber State softball team dedicated their season to Marshall. Each player on the team would create the shape of a heart and an M with their hands and flash it after every base hit. Marshall loved getting his videos from the Purple softball girls, and they always cheered him up. Marshall even received video messages from professional athletes, including his favorite baseball player and former Salt Lake Bee, Mike Trout. Marshall touched so many lives in his short time on Earth. He wasn't granted the time to live out the countless dreams and big plans he had planned for himself. He did, however, inspire so many that are still here to live life more fully, to be grateful and compassionate, to want to give gifts to others. He was an example of what is good to anyone and everyone who knew him. In memory of Marshall and every child that has fought and is currently fighting cancer, we ask each of you to unite as a community to strike out childhood cancer by supporting the Huntsman Cancer Institute so they can continue their work creating new and better treatments, improving lives, and finding a cure for cancer.